This is going to be a quick tutorial on how to grow your own bean sprouts at home. This is just how I do it. You can do it from very small scale like this up to producing more bean sprouts in one shot than you probably could eat in a year. This is how I do it. I've been doing it for a while now. This is a canning jar. As you can see, it has been painted. I spray painted it black. This is just a 1 quart ball canning jar. Purchased anywhere that you buy canning jars. I paint it black. I'll explain that later. These are the mung beans. They're dried. I buy them from an Axis, Whole Foods, basically, the local organic store. These were also purchased there. These are strainer lids. They fit onto 16-ounce canning jars. This is the one that I use for the bean sprouts. This is actually just a piece of cardboard paper. This is actually the medium size. For a long time I was doing the jar wasn't painted and I didn't have this in there, and when they would grow, they would turn green. Basically what you're doing is you're sprouting the seeds. That's really all there is to it. But what happens is they would sprout and they would build up chlorophyll, and it gives it a really strong flavor. I find this way, keeping the light out, they grow larger, basically in an attempt to get out of the soil. The seed grows larger in size without the chlorophyll. So here it is, real simple. Just standard household tablespoon. For a jar this size, I do 3 of these. For good measure, this really isn't a science. It's not a big deal. They'll just become more tightly packed inside. The jar, I doubt you can see this, but the jar is filled, probably to about 10 or 11 ounces of water. And then the lid, which the reason the cardboard is there is just to keep out the light. And then just screw this on, if I can get it to go on one-handed. And then you leave it overnight, 12 hours. I'm starting this a little early, but I'll still probably soak it until tomorrow morning. It's about 11 a.m. here. So I'll soak this overnight, and what I'll do is I take this lid off, and that's why I pulled out the other one for you to see. Let's see if I can get that off. I apologize for the shaky standard YouTube video. And then I'll just put this on top, and I'll hold it on. I won't even screw it on. And I'll pour out the water. And then all you need to do is once a day, add, some water to the jar, get the sprouts wet, and dump the water out. You don't need to leave it in there. It takes, 5 to 7 days. I usually wait until they've filled the jar, and then I add them to a Ziploc bag, and I throw them in the freezer. Not the freezer, the fridge. And they'll keep for a couple weeks. So, you could easily have 2 quarts at a time. You can use them for egg foo young. Local Thai place makes a lunch soup. It's just their really cheap appetizer soup. Consists of broth, bean sprouts, and like a ramen noodle, and chicken, and some green onion or scallion. just diced up and thrown in there. So that's what I make them for. That's why I make them a quart at a time. Yeah, a quart of bean sprouts, a pound of boneless, skinless chicken breast, maybe a package of ramen noodles, and scallions and chicken stock. But usually I dilute it, where normally it would be, say, 1 bouillon cube or 1 teaspoon of chicken bouillon to 1 cup of water. I usually cut that in half. And then bring it up to a good boil. Let it simmer for 5 to maybe 10 minutes. Basically if you put your chicken in, if you slice your chicken across the grain, really thin, by the time it comes up to a boil, you let it simmer 5-10 minutes, it's done. It's super simple. Basically, it's really healthy. Mung beans, actually, when they go from the bean to the bean sprout, it's something like they have 4 or 5 times the amount of vitamin C that they had prior to sprouting. So they're really rich in vitamin C, phytonutrients, all that stuff. So here it is. Hope you enjoy. If there's, if anyone wants to see what it's like when it's all done, actually I can show you. I just finished a batch this morning. I apologize for the light. I'm kind of a hermit, so I tend to keep everything in the dark. But that's what you end up with. Nice size. And you get these little green hulls. Some of those will come off while they're sprouting. Some of them won't. As you can see, the little leaflets that grow on the end of the sprout, those get really dark if you use it in a regular canning jar. So, there it is. Nothing fantastic, but something that anybody can do. I do it actually right next to my sink up on that little shelf. So I hope you enjoy, and good luck and God bless.